Okay, folks, as you can see, we are about to embark on an adventure today. This is day one of my motorcycle tour, and the tour is called America's New Heartland. It's a guided tour. One of my good friends over at the writingobsession.com has put this tour together as a prototype, and hopefully the idea is that in the future him and his wife will be able to do this, if not part-time, maybe full-time, maybe. I just left my house. I planned on leaving by 9 o'clock, and I'm making pretty good time. It's actually 9:01, and I already left the house. So I left about 10 minutes early because everything was done, and I had no other reason to stay at home besides to get on the bike and ride. So that's what I'm doing right now. We are going to take this bike on tour through the Midwest here in America. I hope that I get through this tour and get as much footage as possible for you guys. I do have 3 camera angles that I'm working on. So, just stopped and got gas and food for myself, of course. So, lunch for both Skeeter and me. Skeeter took the least amount of time to eat, of course, whereas me, I take most of the time. We are back on the road now. We got about a little under 200 miles to go. So we're making good time. Should be there at relatively a decent hour. I want to explore the area a little bit. The first hotel we're going to is on a state park, and so I want to explore the state park a little bit after I put all my luggage in the room, but we will see. There's actually a fair amount of riders traveling today on the highway. Most of them are going the opposite direction of me, meaning they're coming up to visit near where I live. And then I'm going down a little south to visit, and then should be heading east tomorrow. But yeah, day one, not so bad. So first 2 hours of riding. Let's see. Let me tell you, my first 2 hours of riding so far is that I hit a rock. Luckily, it was a small rock, but it was big enough to make my bike wobble a little bit. I hit the front tire, then I hit the back tire. Luckily, it didn't wobble enough to fall. I was moving at probably about 10-15 miles an hour, so not too bad. But it was a little rock, and I didn't see it because there was a car trail in front of me. So that was not fun. And I have a lot of wind coming through right now because I had to open up my chin guard to get the water bladder tube in through my helmet. So yeah, I don't like that setup because I prefer having a chin guard. It blocks a lot of the wind out. But anyways, we're making progress. I hope you guys can see okay. I hope the camera isn't tilted up too far up. I had to relocate my luggage a little bit. It was mounted sideways on the tail of the bike, my tail bag I'm talking about. But it didn't really sit too snug, and it started moving a little bit on the highway. So I repositioned it to face vertically. So it was set horizontally on the tail. Now it's set vertically, so that should remedy that issue. Let's see. I almost hit a truck merging onto the right lane because I was trying to get to my exit. Checked the mirror, nobody there, and started getting to the outside or the inside of the lane. Luckily, I shoulder checked and I heard something coming, and it was a truck. So I stayed in my lane, and the truck went by. So that was kind of a close call. If it wasn't for a shoulder check, I probably would have hit the truck. Let's see, what else? Yeah, those are the three main things that's happened so far. Otherwise, I've been through a lot of construction. My battery ran out halfway, so I didn't get to show you going through the going around Chicago. I went around Chicago instead of going through Chicago, which is fine because on the way down to Indiana, it's usually better to go around Chicago anyways. It's coming back home is going to be a little bit of a pain. Let's see. So anyway, those are the three things that I had to deal with, and there wasn't anything major. I almost hit a pothole. The size of the pothole is like half the size of the bike. Luckily I swerved around it, but I'm not sure what would have happened if I hit the pothole. I mean, that thing is huge. So it's getting a little warmer. It's noon, high noon to be exact, and it's still cool compared to some of the southern states. So, but it's still hot for me. I'm a little warm. This jacket's doing well. This is my Harbor D-Dry. I'm not wearing the thermaliner at all. The thermaliner is in my little camelback because it's too hot in that thing. And this is perfect right now. I don't know what the temperature is, to be honest with you. And quite frankly, the phone is being blasted by the high noon sun, so I can't see the temperature. But anyways, so yeah, I'm making progress. I think the border of Kentucky is somewhere around here because there's a lot of Kentucky drivers and residents coming around. Alright, I will catch up with you guys a little bit later. Stop number 2. I actually had to stop and pee after the lunch stop. So the first gas stop and lunch for me, I decided to have a pop with my lunch, which was a terrible idea, because then 30 minutes after getting back on the highway, I had to stop and get some food. Had to stop and use the bathroom. So, note to self, do not do that again for the future. Right. Now we should be on our way to the hotel. Oh my god. And this bike is dirty. And I am sweating my ass off. I'm disgusting. So this should be the last one before we get to the trip here. Get to the hotel. Alright, everything's dirty. My bike's dirty, my helmet's dirty, everything. So far not bad. 2 stops for a 300-mile day. 2 gas stops, I should say, for a 300-mile day. That's actually not bad. Oh man. It got really hot really fast. I'm actually burning up just, sitting down and stopping to get gas and whatnot, but as long as we're moving, this jacket actually ventilates very well, I must say. I'm actually thoroughly impressed with how well this jacket ventilates. I'm now down to just one layer. I started out with 2 layers this morning. I did not wear my thermal because it was about 50s or 60s this morning, so I did not need to wear my thermal this morning. This wind, that should be my last stop before I get to the hotel. So 2 gas stops. And the first gas stop, I didn't even really need to stop that early. I stopped at 110 miles. This last stop, I stopped at, let's see. Let me do this math really quick here. I actually rode 145 miles on that last pump. And I still had about 2 or 3 tick marks left, so that's pretty good. This bike's getting about 57 miles per gallon on this trip so far, but mostly it's been highway riding, so. Alright, I'm going to try and stop this video, but that's pretty much it. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up, and then I'll catch back up with you when we get to the hotel. It's been this is the kind of riding, it's been really boring, nothing twisty exciting, although I feel one of my straps running around back here. I hope that's not from my figure bag. But yeah, this is how it's been all day, just straight up long ass roads like this. Alright, I'll catch up with you guys at the hotel, and I'll talk a little bit more about how my day went today. This is really day 1. I'm just getting to the starting point, and our plan is to meet all the riders there at the starting point, and the leaders of the ride should be there tonight, and we should have some dinner tonight with them or something like that. I don't remember. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Oh my God, what is this? $7 per vehicle. Oh shit.
Do what?
Even if I have to park at the inn?
No, you gotta pay to go in.
Oh, about to pay to go in.
Thank you.
And what is this? I just put it right here?
Yeah.
Right, thanks. Can't get in. Here we go. So, apparently, the hotel is in here. However, in order to get into the park, I gotta pay $7. Oh, yes ma'am, you're still going. Alright. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, this is not a parking lot. Okay. Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
Doing all right. Yourself?
Great. Now that I found the spot. Do you live around here?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Not even close. Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. What the? Well, Illinois. North of Chicago.
Robin?
Yeah.
I'm Dave.
Nice to meet you. I'm Ian.
Pleasure.
And that's how I met Dave. So that evening, went up to my room, unpacked everything, put everything on the charger, took a shower, went to dinner. Dave had gotten to the grounds before I did, and he went on a little hike, not little, after he's shown me the route, and these are some of the pictures that I took on the hike. It's not a simple hike, it's an intermediate hike, I want to say, for me. And took some pictures, then went back to the hotel, met up with the rest of the group, and went to sleep. And then the next morning we met at McDonald's for breakfast, and then off we went. I did not get that much sleep last night because I was pretty much really nervous, really anxious, really excited, all rolled up into one. And I'm just so pumped that it's hard for me to stay asleep for more than 4 hours. But anyways, I'm going to give you the rundown of the group here, and then I'll go into details as to why I wanted to go on this ride. So we got the rider in front, the leader, who is Robin. He's riding a Suzuki Bandit 1200S. The rider behind him is Tom. He is on a Kawasaki Ninja 1000. And then behind Tom is Dave, whom we met last night, and that is, he's riding a Triumph Tiger Explorer 800, so that's Dave's bike. And then Dave is followed by Tim, who is on a Honda CB 500X. Tim is followed by me on my white Street Triple R, and then I am followed by Margaret, who is on a Street Triple R as well. I forgot the name of the color of her bike. I think it's graphite, metallic graphite, something like that. But Margaret, who is riding sweep, she is behind me, and her husband is Robin, who is riding in the lead. So those are the 6 riders that we have here. So we are taking the main road to find some twisty roads, and our next destination will be about 240 miles away. Of course, taking back roads. If we were to ride direct, it'd be less than that. And our next stop is in Kentucky. And I just want to talk about, basically, while you're looking at the footage here, just give you a layout of my setup. So day one, if you, as you saw, basically it was just 300 miles of straight highway to get to the first destination, which was Canyon Inn last night. And then now we're in day 2, which is twisty roads to the next destination. And first day was fine. The next day, from day 2, which is right now, today, until the rest of the trip, I will not be doing many vlogs at all. Because my rule for myself is that if I'm riding through unknown roads, I don't do vlogs. I don't put a microphone in my camera, put a microphone in my helmet on purpose, because I don't want to be talking and riding unfamiliar roads with people I have not ridden with before, for safety reasons. So what you're going to see mostly is a lot of footage of us riding through these roads, and some of these roads start off pretty generic, and then they get into the mountains and they start getting twisties, and it becomes exciting, exhilarating, and some of the roads are just breathtaking. So, let me go over why I wanted to go on tour. I've always wanted to go explore this country, the United States of America. Obviously, one of my biggest pipe dreams ever is to explore the world, is to ride on two wheels to any part of the world I can get my hands on. However, living in a country that has such vast distances between destinations, like the United States of America, I thought, why would I explore other parts of the world if I haven't even explored my own country? So I've always dreamt of doing that. I just never found the group of people that I trusted enough to go on tour with until I met Robin. And Robin, just a little bit about Robin. I will dive into details about what he does later. But Robin is the lead editor of the writingobsession.com, and I ran into him really randomly at a motorcycle dealership. I ran into him and his wife at a motorcycle dealership. We kept in touch, and I went on one ride with him. I went on riding with him through the back roads through Wisconsin, and immediately after riding with him, I realized that he would be the person that I would totally trust. Him and his wife are the two people that I would trust riding across the country with. And I saw his riding technique, I saw how he rides his motorcycle, and it made me very curious, because prior to owning a Street Triple, I had a Cruiser, and it was a totally different bike, and I enjoy cruising around in a straight line as much as I enjoy going through a corner. But I didn't know that when I owned the Cruiser, when I owned the Harley. I had no idea if I would enjoy riding a bike similar to a Street Triple. So the only way, and I knew that if I were to buy a sports bike, it would be a Street Triple. That would be my ultimate dream motorcycle. And you guys have probably seen the other video, but if you haven't seen it, it's there's a video somewhere on my channel regarding this motorcycle as being my dream motorcycle. And so when I met Robin, and he's flicking his 1200S, his Bandit, through the corners as if it's like glued on a rail, I'm like, that looks interesting. I mean, I've gone through corners on my Cruiser, but I am pretty positive it looked nothing like that. And then also I've probably only ridden one other or two other Cruisers prior to the Harley, but not a like super sport, like not a sport, like a proper sport bike. So I was curious. I was curious prior to meeting Robin because I already had the Street Triple, but I was even more curious after meeting him. And then I found out that he wanted to go on tour. He wanted to make a tour, create a guided tour, and possibly do it as a business. So I'm like, well, I'm totally down for it, and I totally trusted him in his writing ability, not only just the writing ability, but also the leading ride. And I'm completely okay with following somebody on a guided tour. So I mentioned this to him, and lo and behold, 6 months later, I'm signing up for a guided tour by Robin from thewritingobsession.com. So that brings us to now, day 2 of my trip, and I'm about to take a right turn, which I'm not very good at, I will tell you. I need a lot of practice in some of these corners. Actually, all of the corners. But regardless, I wanted to explore not only the United States, but at this point in my life, I wanted to explore my writing skill level. The tour had a breaking point built in. Robin had decided to do a break every 60 to 75 miles, which actually worked out very well because it gives us time to stretch our legs, get some water if we need to, bathroom breaks, and a little bit of time to breathe. So 10-15 minute break every 60 to 75 miles, which worked out perfect for us. So that pretty much is why I wanted to go on tour. I've always wanted to pack up my bags in very few things as possible, pack very few things as possible. Just all the necessities only on my motorcycle, whether it's a cruiser or a sport bike, whatever. Obviously not a super sport. I would not try to do a trip like this on a super sport. And I wanted to pack my bags and just ride, find some roads and go riding. So meeting Robin and Margaret was probably one of the best things for my for meeting my dream or my goal and dreams of taking my bike across the country. And that brings us to today, right now. And that's why I went on this tour, is because I wanted to find who I am as a rider, find out who I am as a rider, and find out if the street triple is truly for me and what I want out of riding. So, as you can see, there's this is more footage. Now, some of these roads, they start out pretty straight and generic, and then as the trip progresses, as the day went on, it kept getting more twisty and twistier, I should say. It got twistier and twistier, and it was fantastic. And at first, if you notice at the first part of the video, first part of day 2, I should say, I was very, I was taking the corners badly. Like, my technique is completely off. At least, I feel that it's not, I don't feel the corner. Like, I don't feel that the corner is being taken by me properly. I just feel it. I don't, and not only is knowing that I'm not doing it properly, because I know that, I don't have the skill to back it up, but I don't even feel that it's right. And so, I'm very bad at doing right corners, and then as I found out throughout the day 2, I'm also bad at taking left corners, so all the corners is just out of the question for me. But I was getting more comfortable, so after the first stop, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable here. However, I'm still nervous, and the reason why I'm nervous is because 4 weeks prior to this trip, I actually crashed this same motorcycle. I high-sided through a very tight, blind corner. And I was actually scared that I wouldn't get my bike back, but I was not scared of the crash. Like, the crash didn't scare me. It actually made me angry. It made me realize that I really need to go on this tour to learn, to explore, not only explore the roads, but to just figure out what is it that I'm doing wrong. Now, some of you might say, well, you should probably learn this on the track. But I will tell you, I will do a track day, and then I have a theory of track versus road riding, and I have a theory that I would probably prefer street riding versus track. But I might do a track day, and then we'll talk about that later. But in the meantime, I actually almost didn't go on this trip because of that crash. And I think that's why I was so nervous this day. I was so nervous on day 2, is because I was getting nervous, and then one of the skills that I want to learn was how to read a corner and how to be cautious with the corner and how to be able to give myself enough room to react to a corner if I so ever by chance misread a corner ever again. And that's really what one of the things I want to learn on this tour. And so there's 3 main things. One is to learn my bike, to learn what this bike is capable of. Can it go on tour? Can it go on the streets and take it? I think every rider that has test ridden the street triple knows that it can go around a corner. But can it go across country for about 2,000 miles and it would be comfortable? And then the other thing I want to learn was where am I at in my skill level? In terms of not only riding, but packing and traveling on 2 wheels across country. Am I good at it? Is this something that I can do regularly? And then the third thing is read the roads. Am I able to read not only the corner but the roads? So those are the things I wanted to learn on this trip. All right, and then also I wanted more saddle time. And sometimes life gets a little busy, and I don't get a chance to go out and ride as much when I'm at home because I'm worried about work, worried about family, things like that. Whereas here, this forces me to be on the bike. This forces me to have saddle time. And the reason why I say that is because literally this whole entire trip, day one was me just all I had to do. I was only responsible for a few things, 3 to be exact. Wake up, eat breakfast, get on the bike and ride. That's what I was responsible for. And day 2 was no different. I wake up, I eat breakfast, and I get on the bike and just start riding. And for the next 8 days, that is all I'm responsible for. Nothing. No emails, no work, no phone calls, no complaints, no nothing. Just me and my motorcycle. And a few people that you'll find out that are very cool. So, I wanted more saddle time. I wanted to become a better rider. I wanted to learn more about my bike. And I was learning through the process of getting on the bike and actually riding it through roads that I'm not familiar with, but I'm learning how to read them as I go. I'm learning by watching the person in front of me. So one of the things that the ride leader came up with was, and I think it was eventually a collaboration of all of us, was that the rider in front is responsible for the rider behind them. So, for instance, I am responsible for Margaret, and Tim, who is in front of me, who is very, very fast, and he's much faster than me, he's responsible for me. And what we mean by that is not necessarily our riding, but just if I'm going around a corner and I get out of the corner and I look back in my mirror and I don't see Margaret's headlights for about at least 10 minutes, then I need to turn around and make sure she's okay. But if I look in the rear view mirror and I see her headlights, I'm okay to keep moving. And that's how we keep tabs on each other and keep track of each other. So as you can see throughout this ride, we have some twisties, then we sometimes get on the main roads, sometimes we, because some of the main roads connect to the twisty roads. So, day 2 has been crazy for me. It has been a mix of emotions, and I'm learning so much already from just watching the riders in front of me. Watching Tim is like watching someone who rides very intuitively. It's all instinct for Tim. He basically responds instinctively. And then later on I get to ride behind Dave, and watching Dave is a completely different experience as well. It's interesting because I wonder how, as I'm going through this next corner right here, I'm wondering how Tim and Dave and all of them would take the corner, if they would take the corners differently if they were on my bike. And that makes me really curious. They might not take the corner any different because they probably would use the same technique, but I don't know if they would go faster or slower depending on if they were my bike or not. And this part right here is probably my favorite, is the back roads where there's no center line. There's just something about a road with no center line. It's just like there's no constriction, there's no rules. And I like that. I feel more free on a road with no lines because I feel like I'm really truly exploring. I feel like there's no rules of the road that I need to follow. Not to say there isn't, that I'm breaking the law here or anything. I'm just saying that that's just how I feel. And it's a pretty awesome feeling when I get onto an open road like this and it's just me and a bunch of people on motorcycles and there's just nobody around and the sky is just blue with one tiny little cloud. And I absolutely love that. So, we're getting close to the conclusion of the day here. And like I said, I don't do a lot of vlogs when I'm on a trip like this, or just not a trip, this is my first time on a trip like this, but when I'm on a ride like this, even around my area, around my state, if I go on a road, like a riding day, I don't do a vlog if it's roads I've never been on, or if it's people that I don't know, because I want to respect their space, I want to respect their riding style, I want to respect them as a rider, so I try to minimize the factors that would put all of us at risk. You know, it's by putting me at risk, if I'm vlogging, then that puts them at risk as well. So that's pretty much day 2, and we are close to our next hotel, and this is about a 240-mile day. And as you can see, these guys take off like it's nothing, and I'm just putting along because I'm trying to process everything. I'm trying to process a lot of things because this is how I learn, and I can't learn any other way. I could try to learn other ways, I suppose, but this is the best way I can learn. Is I'm having fun, but still so nervous at the same time, but still want to look at everything. So, summary for day 2. So I just want to kind of give you guys from a different camera angle. This is on the handlebar of the bike. You can see this first left turn. This is just terrible. I pretty much did not do, which I will learn later, I didn't do the proper technique at all. And I start to talk to some of the riders later who are well more experienced than I have. And by the way, I'm a complete rookie. I'm the only rookie in this whole entire group. And so this right turn, as you can see, it's kind of wobbly. Like I would lean the bike, and then the bike would just come up a little bit and lean it again. And I don't really look through the turns here. And you can see this one, yellow line too early, and then I have to adjust again to get back out. And so my technique is very, very bad. I'm not entirely sure. I know what I need to do, but knowing how to do something is one thing, and actually doing it is a whole nother thing. So here I go. I get into this corner pretty fast, and obviously this corner, if I have the proper technique, I can definitely go through that corner at a much, much faster speed. Not enough to break the law, obviously, but enough, much faster than what I was doing there. I was going below speed limits in all these corners. I will tell you right now, if the speed limit sign says 25, I'm probably going 15 because I'm just so nervous, and I'm not sure how to get my bike and my body position in the right spots, in the right areas of the center of gravity, where I need to be to get the bike to go around a corner like it should. And as you can see, so this is where this camera angle is from Margaret, and it's just basically to show how Margaret is taking the course, and she's doing it very flowingly compared to me. And it also gives me an idea of how it was helping me determine how quickly I was entering a corner and how quickly I was exiting a corner by watching Margaret, because I really can't tell in some of the videos. So watching Margaret's, where her bike is, it tells me if I'm entering and exiting a corner properly. And I just want to show you what this looks like from behind on an open road with no center lines. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it for day 2. I'll see you guys in the next couple days.